Hey there, welcome back to the Barrow. I'm the Barrow White, playing some NIMBY rails. Continuing the German Rails series, where we are doing the Magdeburg area. This is part 2, where we're going from the Hauptbahnhof in Magdeburg to Leipzig. We're starting, of course, at the main train station again in Magdeburg. There's a lady with a tambourine. This episode's going to be fairly long because there are some complicated stations in between Magdeburg and Leipzig. Starting off here on the north side of the Magdeburg Hauptbahnhof, you can see it's already quite a spaghetti factory of train tracks. But we'll get them built out. And the closer I am to Magdeburg, the more I really do want to build the lines out, because the new scheme of doing things, the new way of doing things, is me picking a city, in this case Magdeburg, and basically doing all the traffic that goes through this town. Eventually, even the Straßenbahn and U-Bahn, the streetcars or the subways of Magdeburg. I felt like my previous approach was cool because it was putting rails all over the map of Germany, but it was so random. This at least will really, give us an idea of one specific area and the true traffic that runs through this one town. Before, we were only just getting a glimpse of the traffic that would go through any one town, because I was doing 1, 2, maybe 3 lines or 3 routes that would go through that each town. I don't know if you've noticed, but in this region of the country, every time you come to a town with a station, seems like there's an intersection of rails, and you can see that with the pink areas on the map. These areas right there where I've been dropping the rails, because NIMBY Rails procedurally knows where tracks are and kind of blanks that portion of the map out. So when you come to an intersection, you'll see, like right here, look, here's the pink area that we're coming into town. We're in Roadleben, and then Roadleben. Now, down here at Roslau, it turns left and it swings right, and we're gonna go right, I believe, but it's another intersection. But traffic is also going to come from the north and south, so there's like a big triangle here. It's a big intersection. It just seems like in this part of the country, there are a lot of railroad tracks. Oh my gosh, this is a fantastic coat of arms. A black bear wearing a crown, had an axe in each hand, and was standing up in a red Viking ship. Amazing. Roslau. And also in this region, it seems that each town has a multi-platform station, or many of the towns have a multi-platform station. I've never been out this way, so I just don't know what life is like out there, but it seems like it may be very urban with lots of railroad tracks and lots of decent-sized towns, all kind of running into each other. here we are to another town, Bitterfeld, that has at least 3 big old platforms there. And it's an intersection where, oh yeah, look, there's rails all over the place. If you look at the extent of how much of the map NIMBY rails has kind of blurred out or blanked out, there's a lot of rails through here. You know, I was thinking as these intersections are getting built here, and I have to put down signals and branches and so on, I haven't really seen if there's much more of like a road map for the developer for this game. I'm not sure if it's still, if this is like the production or if we're still in early access. I guess it's been here for a few years now. But, ooh, look, it's Kraftwerkssiedlung. I'm the operator of my pocket calculator. But as I was saying, I don't know if there will continue to be changes to this game or not. I know that there have been something this year that was updated, but it's been a while. Let me take a look. Looking at Steam, on August the 1st, so this month, just 3 weeks ago, there was a dev blog. Let's see what's coming up. I'm going to load that up and we'll kind of go through that together as we're watching the game. It says June ended, and he's working on a passenger timetable, Pathfinder. It gets into some technical stuff about the number of stations divided by the number of minutes plus this many departures. A lot of math. I love math, but I'm not going to talk about it. He just goes through some really detailed information of how he's kind of doing this timetable stuff. Goes further and further, talks about pathfinding, and he talks about the timetable UI. Now that won't be a bad idea because the timetable has always been a little complicated to figure out. He has 3 tasks he's working on: PAX timetable pathfind, timetable UI logic, and train timetable AI. So he's working on a lot of back-end stuff. I mean, if you're into game development, this is a pretty amazing update. So I recommend anybody who likes NIMBY Rails and is interested in knowing what's going to happen and how it works to go look at the discussions page or the dev blog that's actually highlighted on the Steam page for this game. I'm just impressed with the details of that. And I'm going to go back to Steam, see if there's anything else new on here. Not right now. Maybe in discussions. So let's see, where are we at in the build here? Looks like we're Delich. Oh, here's a pinned roadmap, which I've not looked at, but it was updated January of last year. So I don't know. Might be time for an update to this because this is a 1.5 years old. Appreciate the game a lot, but would really like to know what's coming up next. I'll keep looking at this though. But in the meantime, let's see where we're at. Oh my gosh. This town has a big old yellow lobster across the White River from the big old yellow sword. I don't think we're anywhere close to the ocean, so maybe that wasn't a lobster. Maybe it was a crawfish or something. Either way, that was maybe the first lobster I've seen so far. Probably not, but definitely the first yellow one, yellow lobster. Gotta admit that Leipzig has a pretty good coat of arms. That leopard panther thing with the red nails, that's pretty bad looking. And the blue stripes look like tire tracks. Like the tiger, the panther saying, "I'm gonna steamroll you, I'm gonna run right over you." I don't know, I like this coat of arms. It's kind of cool. And the red tongue looks like fire, which is cool too. But since we're already in Leipzig, we should be getting to the main train station soon. That intersection seemed a little small. I hope trains don't get stuck in the middle of that. Well, we're not to the Hauptbahnhof yet. This is the North Station. It's widening out. So the pink area here where it gets where it kind of hides the landscape. I'm thinking there's no roads in there anyhow. There's typically railroad tracks. Well, it's a wide spot, which means it's probably, yep, right there is a Hauptbahnhof. And this is a dead-end Bahnhof, meaning everything is a terminal rather than a station. So I end up having to cut off the back ends of the stations that I put down because I'm using the automatic append at both ends of the stations. You can set that in the station settings, but it's easier, unless you're doing terminals all the time, it's easier just to throw them down with the extensions on both sides and just delete the ones you're not going to use. And you know, the stations that I'm putting here, the way I stretched them out in different lengths and so on, though I don't try real hard to be super exact, that's what the top of that station looks like on the map. Their platforms, some of the platforms are really long, some of them are short. I can't even begin to understand how a town or how a station would develop to be so haphazard in the size and shapes of its different parts. Obviously, it was built over time. I wouldn't think that Leipzig said, let's start by building a dozen platforms, different sizes. Maybe they did. But you would think that if you pre-planned it, where you were going to need that many platforms, that it wouldn't look so thrown together. That it would look more engineered. Now, if you're the engineer who designed the Leipzig Hbf and you think I'm an idiot, feel free to drop a comment. Love to hear it. Now, don't worry. Leipzig is not the town. It's not our hometown right now. Magdeburg is. So I'm not going to completely design the Leipzig train station. I've kind of got the parts we need. Enough from the parts that go right and left that we get a good feel of what it's going to look like. But for now, I'm not going to do anything more complicated in Leipzig. Now we'll add our stations. We created the new RE13. And we will start adding stations, of course, starting with Magdeburg. Magdeburg, Herrenkrug, Biederitz. Königsborn. Here in the middle, Lubs, Güterglück, Prödel, none of them had a coat of arms that I could find in Wikipedia. Now I know that's not a complete source, because in the Wikipedia page that I looked at would say that they were part of another district, but it wasn't always clear to me if they were actually part of that district or not. So sometimes you'll see me put a coat of arms for a bigger town for a small town, but I'll identify it with the name of the bigger town. But in this case, all of those that I just talked about, the Güterglück, Lubs, whatever the other one was, I just left them blank. I didn't put a coat of arms at all. And I've done that multiple times throughout the series, but I just noticed that was the first time that I really probably had like 3 or 4 towns in a row that it wasn't clear to me which coat of arms they would be associated, if any. So I just left it blank. I thought I was done here, so why am I still building tracks? Oh, I guess I skipped the station somehow. The Messe. That's not the first time I've done that. I use openrailwaymap.org for my overhead view of the world, right? And it shows me all of the train stations and all the train stuff, but sometimes it's a little off, but it's still amazing. Sometimes it'll have names that are different on the Open Railway map than they are on in Wikipedia or on Google Maps or in NIMBY Rails. But I found the difference is rare. I should have slowed that down. That's still flying. Typically I'd slow it down here, but that kind of looks cool. I'm going to leave it just for this video. We're almost to the end anyhow. That's the section that I had built but didn't record correctly, so we'll get back to that someday. Oh, I was right. That is it for this episode. So let's take a look and see what we did this time around. Oops, I need to blank something out there, don't I? There we go. I'll take care of that later. 86 new kilometers, 20 stations, total of 2777 and 543 in all. We are just really making a big map of Germany, aren't we? So, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. I have fun making it, but I know I'm getting a little slow. I'll try to improve that, but I can't make any promises. But in the meantime, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell for the notification. So, you know, on the rare occasion that I do drop a new video, you actually can see it, and you can check out how many new trains and stations we built. So that is all I have for today. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you next time on The Barrel.